So this is my theory on soulmate lines and what you should really be looking for and doing when you're trying to attract or go to where you think your soulmate might be. So I am Fox Redsky. I am your astrologer, love coach, soul coach, just, super enthusiastic about life. And I'm here live from Costa Rica, and I'm coming to you to talk about soulmate lines. So for the most part, the consensus is when you're studying astrocartography and studying, which is a form of astrology, to go to your descending seventh house Venus line. But I am really on the fence about this. I think that you can attract partners for sure. Is it the soulmate that you're desiring? Is it the energy that you're trying to be in alignment with? The one that's going to speak your love language? I think that's a coin toss. I really think that's like the luck of the draw kind of thing. Yes, you will draw partners. Are they all going to be your soulmates? Let us discuss this in the comments. So my theory is that you need to look at, in your natal chart, at where your Venus is and who the planet ruler of that is and what your Venus is in. And I'm going to go through each of the signs, and we're going to talk about the planet ruler and where you really need to be going to look for your soulmate. Okay, so if your beautiful Venus is in Aries, well then we need to definitely look at your Mars line, because your love style, love language is more of that Mars energy. So if your Aries is in Venus, you might want to look on your Mars descending line, because that's somebody you're going to want to bring that hot spiciness. If your Venus is in Taurus, then Venus rules Taurus. So then being on your Venus descending line, to me, makes sense. You're going to find someone who appreciates and values luxury. You're going to find someone who appreciates and values wealth and long-term wealth. This would be a great line for someone who has their Taurus and Venus. Now, if your Venus is in Gemini, then you need to go to your Mercury descending line. You need someone, because your love language is all about communicating and expressing yourself and, variety and being on your Mercury, because again, we want to go to that planet ruler of your descending line, Mercury and descending line, then that to me is the spot for you. Now, if you are a Cancer Venus, Cancer is ruled by the moon. Your love language is a very feeling, beautiful love language. You want to go to your descending moon line. That is where you're going to draw those partners who are really going to be able to understand your love language and are more than likely your soulmate. Now, if you are a Leo Venus, your Venus is ruled by the sun. You want to go to a descending sun line. That is where that energy is going to be there, and that is where you're going to draw that love that is meant for you, your soulmate that is meant for you. Now, if you are a Virgo, Venus, if your Venus is in Virgo, then you really want to look at that Mercury line, descending Venus. You want to look at your descending Mercury line. That energy of being of service, of higher thinking, of seeing the details. This is the line where you're more likely to find your true love. Like I said before, I'm not saying that what I'm saying is the truth, the only truth, and so help me God. But what I'm saying is that this is makes sense to me. Just as an astrologer, this was what makes sense. And if you feel like maybe that's not correct, please, let's have a discussion. Let's talk about it. What are your thoughts on this? Tell me in the comments below. And you can say, Fox, well, you're right about this, but you're wrong about that. And I'm okay with being wrong. It's all right. I'm like, it's not a bad thing. All right, now, if your Venus is in Libra, then you need to go to that Venusian DC line, baby. That's for you. You need that Venus DC line. I think that's where you're going to find You're balanced, you're beautifully ecstatic people. You're people that are really gonna just appreciate the finer things of life. And this is your love language. This is how you communicate. You are gonna find your soulmate there. Now, for those of you who are Scorpio, it really depends, and your Venus is in Scorpio. It really depends now if you're practicing modern astrology or if you're practicing ancient astrology. Now, according to ancient astrology, there is no Pluto. I do believe there's a Pluto, however. Then you probably want to go on your Mars line, where you're gonna find that fiery, exciting, passionate, yummy, yummy, yummy soulmate who's going to speak your love language, who's gonna give you that all or nothing kind of love. And I don't know if I'd advise going to the Pluto descending line if you're a Scorpio. Seems a little masochistic to me, maybe. But this is why we're having this discussion. That's why we're talking about this. If you've been on your Pluto descending line and you found your soulmate, let us know in the comments. All right, so now we are in our Sagittarius Venus. If your Venus is in Sagittarius, then you need to go to your Jupiter descending line. Sag is ruled by our beautiful, loving Jupiter, and you need to go to the Jupiter line. Okay, next we have Capricorn. And Capricorn is, if your Venus is in Capricorn, my Venus is in Capricorn, then you want to go to a Saturn descending line. And I'm going to tell you a secret, y'all guys. My Saturn descending line goes through New York and Miami. And every time I go to either one of these places, I am so sought after, and so people are like throwing themselves at me, and I'm just like, what? And then I go and look it up, and it's a Saturn line. It's my descending Saturn line. I'm like, well, that's bizarre. But you know what, guys? It makes perfect sense. So if you're Capricorn Venus, go to Saturn descending. I'm just saying, it's better than you think it is. All right, and now we're also talking about our Aquarius. Now, if you practice modern astrology, then you're going to go look at your Uranus descending line. But if you practice ancient astrology or Hellenistic astrology, then you're probably going to go to your Saturn again. This is another Saturn line that they feel like that is that. So I'm giving y'all both options. I personally think Uranus descending is probably the best for Aquarius. Nerdy, weird energy. Let's go find that weird, crazy love. You'll probably find it on a Uranus descending line. Now, the last, but certainly not least, is our beautiful, wonderful Pisces Venus. Now, if your Venus is in Pisces, then you want to go to if you practice modern astrology, your Neptune descending line. But if you practice Hellenistic astrology, then you're probably going to go to another Jupiter descending, because typically Pisces is ruled by Jupiter in ancient astrology. Of course, it's 2023, baby, so that's where I'm at. I ain't in the past, I'm living in the future. Come on, everybody. Anyway, so I just wanted to share that with you. This is my theory, and I wanted to know what your thoughts are about this. Like, have you lived on any of these lines? Do you feel like that you attracted more of the type of love that you are seeking? And yeah, what are your thoughts, dude? This is such an interesting discussion, dude. I am like fascinated. So wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you mass love, all the goodies, and I hope you find the love of your life. So wherever you are.